Welcome to This Explainer. Today we're diving straight into how our current sci-fi future is rapidly accelerating. And spoiler alert, it's all being driven ultimately by cold, hard economics and profit margins. It's a totally fascinating time to be alive, and we're peeling back the curtain on the real forces shaping the tech you use every day, and the tech you're about to use. On the agenda today, first, the new AI frontier. Second, the harsh realities of gaming. And third, pushing the aerospace envelope. Let's get right into it.
Act 1. The New AI Frontier.
Remember back in 2023? You'd talk to ChatGPT and wait a clunky, frustrating 3 to 5 seconds for it to reply. It felt so robotic, right? Well, fast forward to October 2024, and that latency dropped to just 1 or 2 seconds. But looking ahead to July 2026, we're talking about the third generation GPT-Live. This is a monumental leap. They're targeting near-zero latency, under half a second.
So what's the secret sauce making that speed possible? It's something called full duplex architecture. Basically, that means simultaneous two-way transmission. It separates the heavy reasoning layer from the voice layer. So instead of politely waiting your turn to speak, you can just naturally interrupt the AI mid-sentence with a yeah or an uh-huh, and it actually adjusts in real time. It is a total paradigm shift for how we interact with computers.
But here's the catch, and it's a big one. What happens when these interactions become completely flawless? They sound so human, our guard just naturally drops. And that brings us to a really sophisticated new danger, all stemming from our growing, almost blind trust in these systems.
Researchers over at MIT and Trail of Bits just uncovered a terrifying new exploit. They're calling it halluci-squatting. Now, we used to worry about typo squatting, hackers hoping you accidentally swap the E and U when typing requests. But halluci-squatting? Oh, it is way more devious. See, when an AI doesn't know a coding library, it reliably hallucinates a fake one. Hackers figured this out. They statistically analyze these predictable AI daydreams, register the fake names, and literally just wait for the AI to enthusiastically recommend malware directly to developers.
The numbers on this are absolutely staggering. For just $1,000, attackers registered over 500 of these fake packages. In just one single month, they hit a 23% success rate, deceiving developers across 9 major AI tools, including Copilot and ChatGPT. Because millions of developers are just blindly trusting AI-written code, attackers are totally bypassing traditional security. We're looking at catastrophic supply chain infiltrations here, and those cost companies an average of $2.4 million a pop. Yikes.
Okay, moving on to Act 2, the harsh realities of gaming. If you follow the console market at all, you've definitely noticed a major trend. Why on earth are disk drives disappearing so fast? Both Sony and Microsoft are pushing digital-only consoles super aggressively. But, spoiler alert, it has absolutely zero to do with consumer convenience or saving the environment. It all boils down to cold, hard margins. Look at a physical $70 game. Retailers in the distribution chain eat up massive chunks of that, leaving Sony with maybe $45.50. But a digital sale? That is 100% pure profit. They pocket the entire $70. When you multiply that extra $24.50 by millions of games sold every year, we're talking billions in extra profit just by ditching the disk drive.
Which leads us to an incredibly blunt reality check from industry analyst Matt Piscatella. He points out that your brand loyalty, it's completely meaningless to these companies. You're just a number on a spreadsheet to them. With rumors flying about upcoming $1,000 consoles like the PS6 or Project Helix, this is a harsh reminder. Stripping away your physical ownership rights and handing you digital licenses that can be revoked at any time, that is purely a calculated move to lock you right into their highly lucrative walled gardens.
And we're seeing this exact same profit-first mindset over at Microsoft. In a massive shakeup they're calling the Xbox Reset, Microsoft just laid off 52 people at Obsidian Entertainment, and they completely canceled the highly anticipated RPG Avowed 2.
Why would they do that? Well, the metrics made the call. Microsoft pivoted all of Obsidian's resources over to a brand new Fallout game. This was strictly to capitalize on the runaway success of the Amazon Prime TV series, which pulled in 65 million viewers its first month and caused a 300% spike in legacy Fallout game sales. With the next official Bethesda Fallout game not even scheduled until the 2030s, Microsoft went with the financial safety of a proven franchise instead of risking it on creative, new intellectual property.
All right, let's look up. Act 3, Pushing the Aerospace Envelope.
36. Just think about that number for a second. This morning, a single SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket, booster B1058 to be exact, launched for a historic 36th time. 5 years ago, literally no one thought this was possible. Today, it has completely shattered the entire paradigm of disposable rockets.
The economics here are wild. Reusability slashes the cost of going to space by more than 50%. Building a brand new Falcon 9 runs about $62 million. Launching a reused one, that drops to under $28 million. Compare that to the $110 million you'd spend on an expendable Atlas V rocket. This SpaceX record unlocks billions in savings, and that is the exact capital being used to fund those incredibly ambitious projects, like missions to Mars and global satellite internet infrastructure.
Meanwhile, right back here inside the atmosphere, the need for speed is just as intense. A Texas-based startup called Venus Aerospace just secured $91 million in Series B funding. Their mission: to take a revolutionary new engine tech out of the lab and into commercial hypersonic flight.
So the engine they're building is known as a rotating detonation rocket engine, or RDRE for short. Instead of standard continuous combustion, how a normal jet engine burns fuel, this thing actually harnesses a continuous, high-speed explosion. It uses a detonation wave that rotates around a chamber at thousands of meters per second. This efficiently compresses fuel and generates a truly massive amount of power.
The numbers absolutely back up the hype. The RDRE hits 75% efficiency. That means it uses up to 25% less fuel while pumping out 50% more thrust than traditional jets. The military applications are pretty obvious and already underway, but the commercial side? That is mind-blowing. This tech makes a 2-hour commercial flight from New York to Tokyo, cruising at Mach 5 speeds, a very real, tangible possibility by the early 2030s. Well, we have definitely covered a lot of ground in this explainer today, from AI systems that can naturally interrupt you in flawless conversation, while simultaneously opening the door to devastating new cyber attacks, to gaming giants erasing your digital rights just to pad their bottom line. We've even looked at rockets completely redefining the limits of speed and cost. And every single bit of this is driven by an intense, underlying economic reality. So as we wrap up, the biggest question left for you to ponder is this: how are you personally going to navigate and adapt to this thrilling, relentless, and undeniably profit-driven future? Think about it. See you next time.